Lisa Miller was a well-known and well-loved high school English teacher in Bloomington. She was kind, passionate, and never missed a class without notice. On October 4, 2016, when she failed to show up at school, her colleagues were immediately alarmed. Her car was still parked in her apartment lot. The door to her apartment was locked. A welfare check by police found the interior neat. Nothing out of place except for one thing. Her cell phone and purse were still on the table. There was no sign of forced entry. Surveillance cameras showed her arriving home around 5:20 p.m. the previous day, but never leaving again. Her friends and family ruled out the possibility of her running away. Lisa had just been granted tenure, was planning a trip to Ireland, and had been actively involved in organizing a school fundraiser. Foul play quickly became the working theory. A neighbor reported hearing muffled voices around 6:30 p.m. that night, followed by a door slamming but dismissed it at the time. Another neighbor claimed to see someone leaving Lisa's apartment wearing a hooded sweatshirt and gloves, unusual for early fall in Indiana. During a second, more detailed forensic sweep, detectives discovered something crucial: a faint blood stain under the bathroom sink. Lab results confirmed it was Lisa's. Police obtained a warrant to dig up the apartment's plumbing access line in the basement. There, they found fragments of what appeared to be a blood-soaked cleaning cloth and a latex glove. DNA from the glove was partially degraded, but analysis found male DNA. Not enough for an identity, but enough to eliminate known family and co-workers. Attention turned toward Lisa's personal life. It turned out Lisa had been involved in a secret relationship with Mark Hayes, a married gym teacher at the same school. They had been seeing each other for about 6 months. Mark had promised to leave his wife, but friends said Lisa had recently threatened to end the affair after discovering he'd lied. Mark initially denied everything, but confronted with text messages retrieved from Lisa's phone backups and confirmed by others, he admitted to the affair, but claimed he hadn't seen Lisa in weeks. However, phone records told a different story. Mark's phone pinged near Lisa's apartment tower around 6 p.m. the night she disappeared. Security camera footage showed a hooded man entering the complex. Footage wasn't clear enough to confirm identity, but Mark owned a jacket that matched the one worn by the man. When investigators searched Mark's home, they found a hoodie and shoes with microscopic blood splatter on the soles. Later confirmed to be Lisa E.S. through mitochondrial DNA. Under pressure, Mark changed his story again, now saying they had argued she hit her head and he panicked. But the forensic report debunked the claim. Lisa had suffered manual strangulation, not head trauma. Mark had visited Lisa intending to convince her not to reveal their affair. An argument turned violent. Mark strangled her, cleaned up the crime scene, and disposed of her body in a nearby nature reserve, wrapping her in a tarp. It wasn't a tea until weeks later that a dog walker discovered human remains buried in a shallow grave in Morgan Monroe State Forest, matching Lisa A.S. dental records. Mark was arrested and charged with first-degree murder, tampering with evidence, and abuse of a corpse. At trial in 2018, Mark pleaded not guilty. He claimed emotional distress and maintained it was an accident. But the premeditation, bringing gloves, cleaning materials, and lying to police, proved otherwise. He was found guilty and sentenced to 65 years in prison, the maximum allowed in Indiana at the time. Lisa A.'s family set up a scholarship in her name for young writers at her former high school.